This is CNN Breaking News.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to CNN.
Today we have some interesting news that we want to share with you.
Young can only read digital clocks. That's the claim in debate between teachers, with suggestion that digital clocks are being installed in exam halls for teenagers. Coming next, our reporter Juan Pablo is going to tell us more about this.
That's right. According to a report in the Times Educational Supplement of a conference being told that pupils needed a digital clock to be able to tell the time. As such, schools could be trying to give them more help by letting students use digital clocks in exam rooms during the summer GCSEs and A levels. To adults, it might seem second nature to use a standard clock face, said Mr. Tro, ASCL Deputy General Secretary, but younger people were much more familiar with seeing the time in a digital format on computers or mobile phones. Young people find it a bit easier to use a digital clock, and if they're timing themselves for questions, it might make it less likely that they will make mistakes, said Mr. Cho. He said, as an example, if students had to answer a question in 15 minutes, it could be easier for them looking at a clock with a digital format if that was how they usually told the time. There were no official indications about taking down analog clocks, he said, but such claims were being made by teachers on social media. One of the examples on Twitter being quoted is from a head of English, Mrs. Keenan, but she told the BBC that the digital clocks that had been installed had broken down and now had been replaced by a traditional analog clock. She said it wasn't the case that a majority of students can tell the time using such analog clocks, but it could be a barrier from some. For the digital generation, she said, an analog clock could be becoming an anachronism. Will this be a trend for the approaching summer exams? Only time will tell.
People are commenting on Twitter. Miss Keenan, true, we install digital clocks in the exam hall. Nicola 12 said, our school has replaced the analog clock with a digital one in the hall for exams because pupils couldn't use it to tell the time. Please send us your opinion on Twitter.
Eyebrows have become an obsession among people right now, but do they really know the history behind this?
Coming next on Reporter.
Eyebrows have become an obsession of late. Tattoo or microblade shape and draw in bold dark lines, making a statement far beyond braiding or waxing. Lifting one and not the other often signals disbelief, amusement, curiosity. Raising both can suggest surprise or dismay, but it wasn't always that way. Early humans had thick, bony ribs that were far less nimble than ours, incapable of expressing much of anything beyond.
University of Georgia used 3D engineering software to look at the broad ridge of a fossil skull of archaic hominid, Homo heidelbergensis, who lived between 600,000 and 200,000 years ago.
Science had long thought those brows served some structural purpose, like pursuing prehistoric food. That they could also be used to signal aggression or intimidate competitors was largely dismissed as an evolutionary perk, as were the more flattering brows of modern humans. But when Ricardo Miguel Godino, an evolutionary anthropologist at the University of York, made digital recreation of a skull believed to be 300,000 to 1,000 years old, he found no evidence that its brows ridge provide any of the practical benefits suggested by early studies. He tests out the different possible explanations and effectively there's no reason for it, said Penny Spiggins, an anthropologist who conducted the study with Dr. Godino. The findings, published April 9 in Nature Ecology and Evolution, suggest that the human brow has always been an primarily social tool, and the smoother foreheads and expressive brows of modern humans may have evolved to accommodate our increasingly complex relationships. But later, more vertical for her, the whole area above the eyes becomes much more mobile and the muscles can make some really subtle communicate gestures, Dr. Spinkin said. And those gestures like lifting your eyebrows to show you recognize someone, she said, tend to be more about expressing friendliness than intimidation. Though such a hypothesis is difficult to test without a time machine, Dr. Spink said it is emerged from the real-life observation of Paul O'Higgins, a co-author of the study. Paul was frustrated that his daughter spent so much time in the bathroom mirror perfecting their eyebrows and was saying, "What are eyebrows for?" she recalled. That's when we thought maybe this is actually quite important.
Our reporter Moira is on the street interviewing people
To know their opinion. Please, Moira.
Hello. Hi. What is your name? Francisco. Can I ask you some questions? Do you know what's the hour in an analog clock? No, because why not?
Because I use a cell phone.
Okay, and how old are you? Okay, what do you prefer? The analog one or the digital one?
Digital.
Why?
Because it's easier of use.
Why do you think that the young people can't use the analog watch?
Because the young people use more the cell phone and the digital clock.
Did you know that the eyebrows have a meaning?
No, I didn't.
What do you think that the meaning of the eyebrows have now?
I don't know, maybe it's aesthetic.
What do you think that gonna happen with the eyebrows in the future?
I think the eyebrows are going to be used for the aesthetic use.
Thank you very much. Hello.
Hello,
What's your name?
Liliana.
Okay, and do you know what is the function of the eyebrows?
Well, I don't know properly, but I can imagine something about to protect the eye. I don't know, maybe about the weather, snow, a lot of sun. Well, I don't know, but I suppose that.
And what do you think that gonna happen with the eyebrows in the future?
Well, it depends. In Chile, the men without ones, I'm really sure about that. But, well, I don't know, sometimes the parts of the body who work, they are in our body forever, but parts of the body who don't work a lot, they start to eliminate or something like that. I think I read something about that.
Thank you for your time.